Welcome to a new day in Empyrion Galactic Survival. In the last part, we returned to the home planet and started looting down these titans for the hardened steel blocks and ordinary steel blocks. You can see we can still do a little bit more. Treat some more blocks here. I've been snagging off various blocks and lights and stuff from it as over a period of time, because what I want to do in this part is focus very much on extending the toaster, giving it a bit more capability, and I've got quite a lot of things I need to put in, but the most things I definitely need to put in is carry capacity for the two SVs and the hover vehicle. And what I'm thinking is a hangar for the hover vehicle and rooftop landing for the two SVs. But at the same time, I need to get a farm in, also a machine room to be able to move these constructors out of this area. And what I would also like is a secondary machine room to put the warp drive in. So we might as well get started, and the whole of this video is going to be about fleshing out the main structure. And then what I will probably do is a lot more building off camera, because this is going to be quite a big project and I don't want us to take too much time on this. So let's just get started. F4, and I'm just going to put in here. We certainly want the hardened steel blocks, because we've got piles of hardened steel blocks. Got quite a lot of carbon composite. I've also got a polarized hull shield, which I've made already simply because I need to fit that in. We've also got some container controllers and a whole load of container extensions, because I've got to carry out the tricky task of moving from this storage to the new storage, but at the same time without actually causing too many problems. So I'm going to start down here, because I'm going to map out my main machine room. If any of you watched my previous video where I was building a capital vessel, in fact this is the other thing I also definitely need to do is get a symmetry plane in. I'm just going to get the symmetry plane in position as well, just to try and speed the whole process up. Yeah, if you watched my previous series, I built a capital vessel, and what I actually did is I built a machine room with the floor like this, and I actually used the floor of the machine room to put things in. So I'm just going to come in here, and just going to think what I want is 7 by 5. So that should give me 3 blocks of 2 to put items on, and then that would be the footpath for the basis of the machine room. Now, the other thing I also want to do in this build is, I think it was Snafu who suggested that I actually bring the ship down to touch the ground, so rather than having everything on landing gear. So I want to give that a bit of a go. Must admit, I've never really built a ship like that, so it'd be an interesting thing to do. And what I want to do now is just gonna put these in. I'm just gonna come all the way back. Well, I want to come all the way back there, and it is just have everything 3 wide at the moment. So that's now there. And what I want to do now, this is the point where I'm going to drop down to the ground, and so we're just going to rotate that there. And what I want to do is just put in 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and this is where we're going to put the shield generator, because the shield generator is quite awkward because it's 3 by 3, so it doesn't fit with a normal, what you'd call a normal height room. So we've now got this area here, and I've got a texture tool somewhere. There is. And all I want to do is just mark out the floor. I've only got 1 set of textures for containers, have I? Okay. And actually just turn it that way. Okay. Of course, this you can't change the texture on. I'm just gonna show there. think we can just what can I put in here? I think we're put that there. We'll leave the floor itself here kind of normal color, and it's going to come here. Now we're going to come back here like that, and that's going to be the wall for that. That will mark the end of this main machine room. And let's just come up here. Oh no, that's a bit of a fail. I'm using my heavyweight armored blocks for an internal structure, and I don't want to waste the blocks. And what we'll do is we'll put a line of steel there, and then we'll come up to carbon. Actually, no. I think we can just risk. I don't want to get this ship into any major battles. I think we can come up with a carbon composite like this. And just to emphasize that we need a footpath or a way out here, we're going to put that there. Now, what I'm going to do is bring this back this way, because this is going to be the floor of my farm stroke upper machine room. Actually, wow, that's going to be a bit wider than I thought it was going to be, wasn't it? Okay. This could be interesting. Actually, let me just get rid of that. And actually just I'm gonna get rid of the drone, and I'm just gonna jump up on here. I can actually see what I'm doing, get rid of the weapon, and I think what we're gonna have to do is take out, retrieve that block there, and we're just gonna take out some of these. And I'm going to take out the gratings as well. And I'm going to take out that. So let me just work this out. If I come, oops. No, that's not good. Okay. This won't let me, will it? We're going to have to take the gratings up as well in here. Have to be a little bit careful. If I come back 2 sets of gratings this way, what I'm thinking is I can bring the farm into this part of the ship and take out these as well. I wasn't exactly planning to do this. We're gonna have to move all these thrusters and stuff anyway, so let me just think about this. So we're gonna come back to here, and then we're going to mark this as the front edge of the farms, like that, and then. But let's just fill this area in like this. Right. There's the texture tool. And let's just see. There we go. Why are you on white? In some ways that's okay. So that's 3 there. So if I change to plain block, that there says 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we'll just flip to another colour as well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Back to no colour at all. And just flip back to yeah, we've got a couple of blocks missing here, but that's not a problem. Oh, we've got a couple of gratings installed in here. Right, I must have missed them. So I'm just going to take you out. And don't need to colour these in. The colours are just simply to mark the edge. Okay, so I suppose I better move out of the way because I'm in the way. And oops, don't want that. Right, let's just mark out 1, 2, 3. That marks that up there, and this marks the. This will mark the roof, and then what we'll have here is the secondary machine room, which will sit over here. And in here we will put the warp drive and other key items. So we've got the machine room for our constructors and other items. We've got the shield generator. We've got kind of, I think 4 full-size plots will be enough for farming purposes. And we can have a machine room here, which will fit in quite nicely. And then what we're going to need to do now is start to extend this back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. I mean, that's a lot of stuff on the ground, but I think 10 will be enough for a hover vehicle. And let me just think about this. We've got a set of containers there. Let me just put in a row of composite blocks there. Just put 2 rows in there, and then what we got here. And I think what we're going to do now is put in some more containers in here, which will form the floor of the hangar. And I think I made about 50 of them, so I think if we come back or like that, and then we'll put the container controller in the center there. I mean, it's probably way over the top, to be honest, but I think I'd rather have. Wow, there's going to be a lot more storage than I thought it was going to be. Never mind. I think we'll just come back like that. And then the other 10 we'll use for ammo boxes. Actually, thinking of ammo boxes, let me just ammo. Right, we don't have that much ammunition anyway. So, and I think the ammo is up here. Let me just get rid of that so I can actually see what I'm doing. Yeah, I think these are the ammo boxes here. So if I dig out these, oh, these are container extensions, but somewhere in here is the actual, yeah, there's the ammo container there. So I'm just gonna take out, I think that's all of them. And I think what we're going to do is have this use the same principle up here. I'm going to pick out these here like that. Where's the ammo? Oh, we've got some more. Where's the ammo container? There it is. Okay. Right. I think we're going to put that there. 1, 2. Going to put that lot there. How much does that give me in the way of ammo? So, poster. They give me enough space for 80,000. I think that should be enough, shouldn't it? I'll just get that ammo back into there. And as I say, this is going to be the secondary machine room, so. And that'll be far enough in the core of the ship to protect it. And so we've now got this area here. Right, let's just get back to, I think to start with, we're going to keep everything 3 wide. In fact, I'm going to walk this way. We get up above the thing. If I work on the right hand side, right, it's got dark again, so let's just go and sleep through the night so we can actually see what we're doing. I know it's fairly clear, but I'm aware that when these translate up into YouTube, they're always a lot darker than what they look like when you're recording. I've got no understanding why. Even when I put it through the rendering software, it looks a lot brighter than it does when it comes up on YouTube. I don't know if there's something in the way what YouTube does when it's actually processed that kind of stops them looking, you know, darkens the videos down a bit. Anyway, we're there. Actually, I need some food. I'm better. I'm kind of getting a bit low on food as well. We're gonna have to have a pretty good food run fairly soon. Oops, haha. I pushed myself over the edge. And back to what I was saying is, I think having these 3 wide is going to be quite adequate. And I think 3 provides enough stability without making the ship look too chunky. So I'm just gonna, and I think to start with, we're just going to rotate this in. Now I want to emphasize, all I'm doing at the moment is kind of fleshing out the main design, and then what I will probably do, because a lot of this detail work is going to be quite tedious, so what I will most likely do is do a lot of that off camera. And I think what we're going to do is go to the steel blocks now, and I want this to be wide enough, so I think if we come back, we're going to have steel underneath here, so I think we'll probably need to come out again like that. And I suppose the real test will be to put the loot lifter on here to see how wide and what the fit's like. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. So I'm just going to jump down and jump into here. I mean, I know I'm not fitting it for the loot lifter, but I think if the loot lifter actually fits in there quite well, then I can guarantee that if I build a hover tank which is a bit chunky, it will still fit on here, because that's what I'm thinking. Oops, no. Just gonna, of course this isn't going to fit exactly. We just drop the loot lifter in just about there. So it's roughly in the center. It's going to drop that out. And it's going to get upstream of the do want to have enough room to walk down. This is slightly off center, so if I... Yeah, so my instinct is to have the edge of the hangar bay here. So, we've got 88. If I can build a cross section, yeah, so like cross like that, and we can have maybe something like that. So it doesn't look so kind of bleak of being a square block, a box, sorry, not block, box. And then I think if we come up here like this, if we come up, when it's probably 3 high, because at the end of the day a hangar is effectively a great big box. So, and what I'm looking for is to get the cross section, and what we need now is to work on this area here. Kind of inclined to, we put in maybe a double row of these like that. Yeah, and that comes out here, and what I'm looking for is to build nacelles out here, which are going to be wide enough to be able to take the double length of a medium thruster. Actually no, I don't like that. I think it still makes it a little bit too chunky. Welcome to the frustration of my world. And I'm sure that many of you watch my videos when I'm building and think, what is this guy thinking? Well, I'm afraid this is the way I tend to do things. Is I try things out, take it apart, put it back together again. Even if I produce a detailed plan, I never stick to it. I think what we're going to do is see if we can... Actually, I think I actually like that, actually. Let's just come up here like that. And that lifts this ship up. Yeah, I think that gives it a bit more lift. And I think if we then go here again like this, whoops. Yeah, if we come out like that, I didn't think it would let me do that, but oh well. Take it away. So we've now got this area here. Then I think if we then do another, that's more along the lines of what I was thinking. So we've now got this up here. That gives me the 2 block depth of the medium thrusters in here. And of course we got the depth here, so we need to put a couple of large thrusters on, or want to put a couple of large thrusters on. I will build in this back once I've got the profile ready. And I think just be maybe a little bit different. Let's just kind of just rotate that in like that. That can come along. So again, I will trim these edges back and shape the ship in, because obviously we've got to have side walls here to protect the machine room. You've got to have side walls up here to protect the farm. So the ship may kind of start narrow and widen slightly towards the top. I just want to work out where I want to put my main bits and pieces. In fact, this is the machine room, isn't it? Okay, let's just get the other really big ticket item moved first. Let's just pick you up here. We've got generators as well, so maybe if we get these put in situ, then I can have something to work around. Oops, I've got to find the container controllers now. Where's my normal one? That's 2. There it is, 3. Right, so we're just going to pick up the Of course, this is when a drone attack comes. Wow, that's big. Now, I'm not planning on making this a walkthrough room, so maybe if I rotate this like that, and that, back one. So if we put the warp drive there, I mean, I could move it back one with the length of the ship. In fact, I think I will. We can bring this room back a little bit. In fact, I think I'll leave that just there for the moment until I've got this area sorted out. And then actually there's a right, I'm gonna kind of power off the base, but I think the next big ticket item we need is the large generators, so hopefully this will fit. Oops. I probably could do another large generator. Gonna rotate you. I think if we put the generator there, we can always put stuff behind it should I need it. And in fact, let's just make a second large generator. Devices, constructor. Actually, while I'm at it, let's just make a large constructor. And I actually have the I wonder if I got the large generator unlocked. Can't remember unlocking it. Nope, I didn't. So we're just going to unlock the large generator and come into here. There we are. I think a ship like this deserves 2 large generators, especially once we've got it all kitted out. And so I will shuffle these around as necessary, but at the moment this is like template holding. Right, let's just come in here. Large constructor. Right, I think we can. I think we'll put no. Yeah, I think we're due on. Yeah, I think we'll just put the large constructor there. In fact, I've got to make sure I finish the generator. This can go on this side. I have to make sure that these are well protected. Of course, that's going to drop my fuel situation down, and so the fuel. Oh no, that's fuel tank. Sorry. Right. Actually, while I'm thinking about it, let's just hook out this one as well, the advanced constructor, and that can go on this side. That's nice and tight. And that brings the large constructor and the advanced constructor into the machine room. That fits quite nicely. Also, I'm going to have to texture all this in somehow. Although, right, so we've now got to this point here, and we're getting hungry again. And definitely going to have to go hunting. The other thing I'm also going to need to do is deploy a water generator, because I need water to get oxygen and to make the top performing cells. Let me just show you that as well. I'm not sure, again, I'm not sure if I've actually got these unlocked. Nope, I haven't. You can see here, these need permethrin tablets and hydrogen, and you actually make hydrogen from water. So let's just unlock these as well. So we might as well get maximum efficiency with the power cells. Right, back to what I was doing here. We've now got the depth of build here. Just gonna go to here and just gonna rotate rotate this. Oh, no, we're gonna have to do it this way. Else we're gonna waste the space, this lovely space that I've created here. I'm just gonna. I'm inclined to come up 3. This is 3. This is 1, 2, 3. If we come up to the same height as the hangar internally, also having squares of 3s makes it possible to mount turrets as well. So I think that's a bit of an advantage. And I think where is it? I think this time we'll have put this across like this, like that, and I think this is where it's going to get a little bit icky sticky. So what we're going to do is just go in one of these at a time. So that's a climb across like that. We're going to come in like that, and now this is going to be higher, but I'd rather have this area here. Actually, if I put, actually, let's just, if I put these in here, like that, and then come across like that. Now this isn't going to be the actual back of the ship. I'm just trying to get a profile at the moment. And we've got the scope of here. I don't want this to be absolutely dead plan flat. So fine. Fine. Rotate that. Something even thinner here, haven't I? If I put, actually, let's go with that, and then that, and then rotate something in like that. That will still leave a wide enough space there for an SV. I think that will work. It will give a little bit more character and shape to the top of the ship. We need to build turret positions here. We can always push them out. So, right, I'm happy with that. So let's just fill this area in. Oops. What have I got damaged? So we're just gonna come in back like this. Because we need to have this nicely armored up, and because this is the area where we're most likely to have damage. So just going to drop that in there like that, and bring this up like that. And I think having double armor on the back here would be quite useful. Oops, always doing that. I'm just going to pick that up. We're going to have to find the container controller again and drop these in. And I don't think, maybe we don't need to have, yeah, I think we're going to keep this as armored as possible. So. I know I could use control, but I always find that when I use control with the symmetry screen on, it always go a bit kind of wonky. That's probably the technical term for it. And I'm just going to, and hopefully this will rotate in, and That will get in there. So we've now got the shape for the hangar deck. The first of the top landing. We'll put the second top landing above this machine room here, which does, I think, right. And I think just to finish this video up, I'm just noticed the time. I'm going, and I am running overtime again. I just want to get this defined as well. So let me just take out this here. And we're going to have to get rid of this here because it's not going to be able to take the impact of being attacked. And what I'm going to do is just connect you through. Whoops. And come back to here. I think for the moment we'll just have a strip of 3 across like that. So that gives the ship, oops, missing there, just put that in. So we've now got, this is probably the height, and probably up here we might have just a flat landing area. And I think I've just noticed the time for this video. So, and I'm aware that some of this stuff can get a little bit boring. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to get here and just going to cancel this. And of course we're in the dark again, so let me just go and see if I can find my way back through my base. And I've got a door that no longer exists, but I think we can create a door. Oh, it's a thruster. Okay. Then again, I don't want a thruster there anyway, so what's that? Thruster enclosed. Ah, I'm hacking through. Okay. I'm crippling my own ship. I mean, I do need to adjust the thrusters because and completely redo them. They're all in the wrong place now and the power distribution's wrong. So again. So we'll just turn the light back off. And I think just to wind the video up, we'll have a little bit of a run over how the ship's starting to look like. I mean, the front's completely wrong, but once we've got all the key utilities back in here, we can then effectively remodel the front of the ship. I think these will be nacelles, which we will shape back in again. And what we'll have is a slightly triangular shape towards the side of the front of the ship, because of course this side has to come out wider than this, so these thrusters will need to come off, and to take those out. I mean, the ship can't fly anyway, so I might as well just take the thrusters out while I'm looking at them. And we'll take these thrusters out as well. We'll take the tab off the front of the toaster. In fact, I think what I will do is take out one of these and what we got here, and take these thrusters out, take out, let's just go through here. I think of all the thrusters, we'll just leave these ones in there. And I think what I need to do is redistribute the RCSs a little bit as well. Now the fuel tanks are going to be a bit tricky because they are drawn there. The oxygen tanks need to be put somewhere as well. Let's just take out these plates as well. Here. What's this here? Repair station. The fuel tanks definitely need to be taken away from here. Anyway, let's just get back to the tour. So we've got our machine room here, which will lead through into the hangar. So effectively we will need to have some kind of elevator coming through from the cockpit over here. We've got the wireless connector up there needs to be moved as well. And then above we will have the farm, so we need to knock out some or find some grow plots for our farm here. Of course we'll need to make this airtight, so we'll probably put a ventilator up here. And then we've got our secondary machine room here, where I'll probably move some fuel tanks and various other items over here. In fact, I may extend it back slightly towards here, so we'll cut this back a bit so that I've actually got some space, and I'll readjust the positions of some of this stuff in here. And then we're going to blend this into the upper landing deck here. We have another landing deck up here, and I think I might push the hangar back a bit to give me a bit more space in this kind of main machine room here. But I think I've got the main structure in now. I'm quite happy with it. I know it looks terrible, but sometimes when you're kind of building a ship like this is the way to do it. You just need to get a feel for what you're doing, and then you can then chunk in some of this stuff over time, because I say this has to come out wider. But this is where I'm going to leave it. Hope you enjoyed the episode, hope you found it interesting, and until next time, whatever you do, enjoy your gaming.